What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'll be your host and producer this afternoon, Logan Landers, and joining me once again to talk about the impressive NFL draft prospect known as Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher coming out of UCF. Help me out today, as always, the founder here of the channel, Mr. Football himself, Vincent Turner. Vincent, what is going on? How you doing this afternoon, man?
Hey man, I'm very blessed, ready to talk about this young man from Central Florida,
Yes, sir.
UCF.
That's it. Representing the Knights, and boy, he put some great work in this, the past couple of years on tape, and we're going to talk all about it here in the program. But before we get into it, if you enjoy the show, like, comment, share, and subscribe, please. It helps us out tremendously. If you comment as well, if you have any draft prospects you want us to cover that we haven't talked about already, that's the best way to do so. Facebook, YouTube, but also you can go download our podcast, give us a rating over there as well on Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you enjoy your listening to your shows, whether you're at the gym, getting a pump in, like Malachi Lawrence has been doing, whether you're cooking some dinner at home, you can listen to us. We have a ton of tremendous episodes, get you prepped for the 2026 NFL Draft. Vincent Turner, let's get into it. Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher, defensive end, coming out of UCF, represent the Knights by way of course, Louisville, Kentucky, his hometown. What you like about him?
6'4", 250, chiseled. What I like about this young man, he's out of Louisville, Kentucky. He was a three-star prospect, but he went to UCF, and he had to wait for like 2 years. He was redshirted his first year and didn't play his redshirt freshman year. But what he showed me, you keep working, Logan. You keep working. You don't worry about what nobody else say. You don't get disgruntled. You don't want to transfer. You know this place is your home. And eventually you're going to get his shot. Boy, did he get his shot. Because look at his career production. 72 tackles. But this what I like about him. As a defensive end, when you got 28 tackles for loss, you doing your business. And then he got 20 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. But his last season was his special season. He was all Big 12, my people. 2025, 7 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, and 3 quarterback hurries. And when you watch him on film, like I said, 6'4", 250, he's coming. Elite pressure. He's got an outstanding first step as a pass rusher. He's versatile. He can play on either side of the line of scrimmage. And most of all, he got active hands and he got a relentless mortar. I'm talking about going to the store and buying you some Quaker State oil at AutoZone. He's got that type of ability and that type of mortar. I like everything about him. Now, a lot of people saying he's not all that outstanding as a run defender, but hey, when I last time I checked, who makes a lot of money in the NFL? It's them guys that can get after the passer. And I'm correct.
That's it.
And if you want to look at Mr. Malachi Lawrence, I always say this here at 100 yards of football. The facts. Go look at his game film, how he played against West Virginia and that strip sack fumble. And then go look how he played against Baylor. Against Baylor, he was the best player on the field from the defensive side of the ball. I love everything about this young man, and I'm hoping my Dallas Cowboys, we need somebody to get after the Russia, especially we let DeMarcus Lawrence go, who's right now playing with the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. How does that look? That's how God is. Last name Lawrence. Lawrence is playing with the Seahawks, and we got an opportunity. I hope he's high on the Dallas Cowboys draft board because Malachi Lawrence is a very special player that can get after the passer. Back to you, Mr. Landers.
Yeah, a good story overall with this guy. Like I said, he had to work. He wasn't gifted a starting role at UCF. He came in and he worked his way up from a guy who got limited chances at first. Like you said, was sitting the bench for a while, but he impressed. He did it in practice when no one saw it, and that's where it counts most. That's how you get opportunities. You impress the coaching staff during those two-a-days at work when it's hot outside and your starters are getting worn down. Malachi would go in there, be that fresh, that fresh energy, bring it in, and would just go to work. And that led to him seeing more time on the field on Saturdays. And you saw it game by game. He got better. He got better. He got better. Played a little bit less than 40 games, so he has a lot of just experience in the college field. We see a lot of guys leaving early, but it's nice to see someone who stuck with it, who maintained his roots, as you said, and just got better and better each year. You mentioned the numbers. He can get pressure with the best of them. I think it's around 27%, give or take. His pressure rate, which is phenomenal. It's among some of the best guys you're going to see in this year's draft. He's got just, I mean, you see the photo if you're watching us Facebook or YouTube. He's got giant arms as well, Vince, around 35 inches, give or take, unofficially. We'll find out more come the draft combine. But that tells me he's got lots to work with. If you're an offensive lineman, it is tough guarding this guy. That's why it's easy for him, in a way, to get around those big offensive linemen because, like I said, he's got that good first step, that great speed off the hike. He can go in there and, I mean, he's not just, going to bull rush you. He's got tricks. He's got moves. He can do a swim move. He can get around you. He's got speed to go in and out if he needs to. And he is a very, very polished product. Like I said, there are areas for improvements as well. You mentioned the running defense, but there are no perfect prospects. It don't matter if you're drafted number one, if you're drafted the last pick in the draft, you're going to have things that you're going to have to improve on and get better at. And that's what you do is you go to a team, like you mentioned, if you go to a Dallas, a Cowboys team, you go to a team maybe that's loaded up, that has some older guys in the edge room that, might have 1 or 2 years left. If you bring in Malachi to learn, to get better, to bring him in situations, I've seen that. If you get him for certain schemes, that might be a good fit to start off the year. And then you work his way in as he impresses you, like I believe he will. But he's got, like I said, that high motor, that good energy you want for your ball club. He can get pressure. He's going to get you sacks. He's going to get you tackles for loss. He's going to apply that pressure, right? And that's what we need. That's what you need in the NFL nowadays. Yes, there are some fantastic running backs and not knocking it, but it's still a passing league at this point in time. And if you can disrupt the quarterback, look at what the Falcons did this past year, Vince. Their first 2 draft picks in the first round, both those guys did some great work on the line, and they disrupted the quarterback. They tripled their production numbers from the last year. And I know the results weren't what we wanted, but defensively, we took a big step up. If you get a guy like a Malachi Lawrence on your squad, it don't matter what team you play for, he is going to be kind of a middle round pick, day 2, day 3. This guy might be a steal. This is going to be a guy that we might be playing in Hawaii one day at the Pro Bowl, if all things go according to plan. And I believe that he's got tremendous feet. He's got great arms. He's got that motor. He's got that drive. You don't see him getting lazy. You don't see him slugging off the field. He's talking with his teammates. He's just what you want in a good quality edge rusher. So if your team wants to need some help out there, getting to the quarterback, stuffing some runs, getting in the backfield, Malachi Lawrence is your dude out of UCF. And hey, Vincent, stay in Florida. I know the Dolphins need a little bit of help. So I know he'd love to stay there in the Palm Tree State down there in Florida and help out. But I mean, any of the teams in the league right now who need some help, Malachi Lawrence will be there for you, if you want to call his name, come April. But Vince, let's get your final thoughts here. Impressive edge rush out of UCF, Malachi Lawrence.
My final words about Malachi Lawrence, I'm going to throw a young man's name out there that had an outstanding career with the Indianapolis Colts. He was partners, played on the other side of the line of scrimmage with Dwight Freeney. Mr. Lawrence, ability of Robert Mathis, Alabama A&M, sack total was high with the Indianapolis Colts. That's who that young man remind me of. As you just said, Logan, you brought up a good point. Right now, everybody's saying he might be a 4th or 5th round pick. Mr. Mathis was a 5th round pick, and you saw what kind of special play he was in Indianapolis. Back to you, Mr. Landers.
Yes, sir. And we think that Malachi Lawrence, a guy who we're highlighting here today, we're going into this draft season, right? We're going to talk about all the big name guys, of course, all the guys you're going to see come round 1, come round 2 probably. But we are digging deep. We are going deep into our Rolodex for our guys here. We're talking about players, talking about schools that you might not hear highlighted on the big name shows. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to educate. We're here to give you that draft analysis, talk about guys that you might not have known about before we spoke about them, to help say, oh, hey, maybe this guy will help out our team. Maybe if I'm a Colts fan, maybe if I'm a Bears fan, maybe I can get this guy to get over the hump. And that's what we're here to do, talking about Malachi Lawrence here today. But don't go anywhere, because up next, we're going really deep with this one. We're going with our draft diamond of the week. So we're not going to say who it is right now. You got to stay tuned here to the channel, Facebook, YouTube, or download our podcast. Until next time, for the founder here of the show, Mr. Football himself, Vincent Turner, video host and producer, Logan Landers. Take it easy. NFL Draft